Hello children, we have a quadratic equation here. It's a quadratic in the variable x, and we are going to find the roots of this equation in this video. Now in order to find the roots, let us do the factorization. Let us find the roots by factorization. So let's go ahead with the sum. The factorization requires us to split this middle term into two terms so that to enable us to group them and factorize them. So how are we going to split this middle term? Let's find two numbers. Let's find two numbers A and B such a way that A plus B should be equal to the coefficient of x, which is 7 here, and the product of the two numbers which we are going to use, A into B, should be equal to the constant, which is 5 root 2 multiplied by the coefficient of x squared, that is, it should be equal to 5 root 2 multiplied by root 2. What is root 2 into root 2? It is 2. So the product of those two numbers should be equal to 10. So as soon as we look at all these numbers, we can observe that 5 and 2 itself satisfies these conditions, because 5 plus 2 is equal to 7 and 5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 10. So let us split the middle term using 5 and 2 itself. Now some of you may wonder why we are doing this procedure to split the middle term. Why is there no other procedure to split the middle term? I have posted a separate video on this justifying. I have justified why we split this middle term in this way, and I strongly recommend that you should watch that video to get total clarity on why we do these things, so that it helps you in your problem solving capability. Now coming back to the finding roots, 7 can be written as, now let me write the first term, the x squared term and the constant term as it is. Just the middle term has to be split, and that too 7x is going to be split into 5x and 2x. Right? Now since we have done the splitting, and we've done it in such a way that this equation is not altered. You add these two terms, you get this equation back again. So it's not at all altered. Now let us group this equation into two terms. This is one group and this is another group. These two are different groups. We're just grouping to help us factorize. Let's find the common factors in the first group first, in this group first. What is common? If you see the numbers, the numericals, 5 and root 2, nothing is common. So only x is common. So x is factorized, and what is written within the brackets of x is factorized, we get 2x. Why 2x? Because 2x multiplied by x gives you it's root 2x, it's not 2x, it's root 2x. So root 2x into x gives you this first term, root 2x squared, root 2x plus 5, because 5 into x gives you 5x. And now coming to our second group, as soon as we look at it, we can't find anything common in between them. But in order to take something common, we see that this term is just product of 5 and root 2. So 5, of course, there is nothing common between 2 and 5, but we can find something common between this root 2 and this 2, because 2 can be expressed as root 2 multiplied by root 2, and root 2 can be treated as a factor of both these terms, isn't it? So let's take root 2 as common, and there is nothing else which is common. So what is written within the brackets will be, divide this by root 2 and write it within the brackets. So you will get just root 2x, so that when you multiply these two terms, root 2 and root 2x, you get 2x, right? Root 2 into root 2 is 2. So we get that term back again. And now the second term would be just 5. So that 5 into root 2 is 5 root 2. And all of this equal to 0. I hope you understood the way we factorized it, isn't it? We have root 2x plus 5. Now in the two terms we have Now we have that root 2x plus 5 is common to the two terms. So let us factorize root 2x plus 5 and let us write the rest within the brackets x, because root 2x plus 5 into x will give you this term back again plus root 2. So root 2 into root 2x plus 5 will give you the second term back again. So once again we have not altered the equation even a bit, still stands the same. At the same time it has been factorized. Your first quadratic root 2x squared plus 7x plus 5 root 2 has been factorized into two terms. This is your first term and this is your second term. Now what are the roots of this equation? The roots are where x is equal to 0. So if any product a and b, product of any two numbers is 0, we can safely say that either a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So here it is either root 2x plus 5 is equal to 0 or it is x plus root 2 is equal to 0. So what happens when root 2x plus 5 is equal to 0? If you minus 5 on both sides, you have root 2x is equal to minus 5 or x is equal to minus 5 by root 2. This is one root of the quadratic equation. And what about the second root? It is x is equal to minus root 2. So this is the second root of your quadratic equation. So now we have factorized and we have found the roots of the quadratic equation, which actually appeared to be slightly difficult because it had some square root numbers in it, but we have done it very easily. Thank you, and I hope you understood.